In today's video, I'm talking about how you can be improving your reading experience, your learning experience, and different forms of note taking. Let's get into it. Today we're talking about the processes that I'm going through when thinking about learning or reading, and because it's developing over time and it's changing in different ways. I'm just going to tell you what is the most current model of what I'm using on how I could be trying to learn. If you stay till the end, I'll be going through in more detail my learning protocol, which is a step-by-step learning template of like different things that I'll go through when I think about learning. Leave a comment in the description and press the like and subscribe button and share it to all your friends and tell them to say come hello. Firstly, what do you think of this jumper? It's pretty cool. It's getting, look at this lovely little jumper. Some of the problems that I face when reading is there's massive books. You've got like big ass books, but these books are filled with information and the authors, they have to sell the books, so they repeat themselves often, and a lot of it is not really as useful as it could be. It's not as condensed and like potent. And I test loads of different things when I'm thinking about reading, just going through different processes, and then I'm trying to develop, like evolve my methods of reading to get it more efficient, effective. I hate it when authors repeat themselves, and this is why I go through these sorts of processes. So my first method before any thinking was basically just to pick up a book and read it, and then read it page by page, going through the page, and then I like to take notes. I like to write on the papers. That's why I just buy the books. I've got a Kindle as well, but I like to actually physically write on the paper with highlighter pens. And then this is basically one method of like highlighting what is the most important part. But then equally, the second step of what I went through is after I've highlighted all the stuff that's important, I physically go in and cross out all the stuff that's not important. So anytime an author's repeating themselves or they digress on talking about different almost unrelated topics that's not really valuable for anything that you need, I'll just instantly cross it out. So I've emphasised all the stuff that's important and I'm excluding all the stuff that's not important. I absolutely love highlighters, and I go through them as well because I use the blue light, and then at night I can see more intensely some of the different key points, and it just gives me a good idea. The next thing I found, which was great, is so we've gone through the book, first reading it, then after that I've emphasised all the things that are important with highlighters, and I've excluded all the things that are not important by crossing them out. And then what it's going to do is essentially it's going to halve the amount of information that you're going to have to read when you do a reread. When you hopefully go and try to refresh your mind on a book, you basically subtracted all the rubbish and you've emphasised all the good stuff, kind of like the 80-20 principle. You find the 20% of the good information and you're deleting the 80% of the non-important information. This is something that's also good. You can find these online for about £1, £2 or something. But these are basically like little tags, coloured tags. And why these are important, which I've kind of just come across now, is basically then I can start categorising from my own terms of what is important or in different areas. So actionable information is blue, green, sorry, and pink is interesting information. So now I can go through the book and just look at what I think is really useful and what is not useful, which is great. And this is how I go through the process of actually just reading the book. There's different things that I think about when I'm actually reading. There's like different tips about where you skim read first, or you look at the start and the end of paragraphs, because authors tend to emphasize the points of different paragraphs at the beginning and the end, like conclusions and introductions. The middle part is kind of like lost, I guess, in the context. One thing that I was doing before was I was making flashcards. Here is a box of all my flashcards, and I'll show you now. So basically, this is all my flashcards, and there's hundreds of them on a range of many different things. I get the information that I look at, and I'll go through it, and then I'll write it down in its most condensed forms on these flashcards, and then I can go through a process of throughout the day just picking up like 10 random cards and then saying, okay, today I'm just gonna look at these 10 cards, or in the next hour I'm just gonna study these cards. And then what that's gonna do is it's gonna continuously water my brain, and then that's gonna help me try and recall and remember over a longer period of time. So, and then I can categorize them or group them together in different ways. Depending on what I'm doing, I can group them in ways that can be more relevant and more useful in different contexts. And then there's the next thing, is basically I use this book. This is my blue book, and I use Cornell note-taking system, which is basically, if you don't know, you have this here. You split the page into 3 parts. On one side is direct notes, on the next side is questions, and on the bottom is answers. And it's a good format or structure for note-taking. And this is something that I'm using now, but it's not just with reading. I use it with everything from YouTube videos to everything, and then it makes me have to actively, physically try and identify the more important areas and sort of put it on paper. And then after, once I've got the direct bits of information, then I start to formulate different questions that can help me generally, not in a similar context, but something that I can use more generally on a day-to-day life. And then whenever I look through the book, I can see the different, where the information's come from, and different questions that can help me execute different things in my life a bit more effectively. So that's the whole principle of that, which I think is good. And with my reading protocol, is basically what I've got this is a to-do book, to-do checklist book, to-do list, but it's I made to-do list templates. So with these templates, it's my basically back management and restoring mobility. So it's basically routine. So the first one is, so with my to-do list, this template here is basically a book of different to-do lists for different topics. So the first one on the book is for back management and restoring mobility. This is a protocol that I've designed, and it's basically a list of different types of stretches and exercises to help improve my back health, because I was having some problems with it before, and I thought I need to make an actionable plan on how I can restore my back health. So this is the sort of thing that I have with that. And then next is basically the daytime and nighttime routines, and basically this gives me a list of different things that I need to go through in the morning, and then that's going to help me target loads of different areas such as health, learning, etc, etc, etc. So like with reading, I only do 25 minutes at a time of reading, and then like there's exercises, some generic stretches that's going to help me for my day. And then there's the nighttime routine. After that we got morning workout, morning stretches, and reading protocols, learning protocols, and it's basically different priming questions that's going to help me try and learn more effectively. First by identifying what is important, why it's important, what purpose is the information used for, and what is the intention of learning it, what context is it going to be used in, because this is going to help you with context dependent memory, and it's going to help you recall it at a given date. And also, if you know why you're learning it, then you're going to learn or listen with more intent, because you understand why, where you're going to use it. That is important. Then I look at different things, sort of like why people fail, what is the 80% of the wasted time, what is the 20% the most successful time, etc. Going through and deleting distractions, the Pomodoro 25 minutes, making a context dependent web where you can basically, you write your topic or the thing that you're learning about, and then you can make web off and describe all the different areas of context that it can be used for eventually. I don't know if that would actually work, but I think the idea of it works in my mind, because if your memories are context dependent, then if you can process more different contexts of where it could be used, it could be more beneficial. And then rehearsal, so you can like rehearse different things that you've been learning, and then teaching others. So this is like a process that I'm going through right now. And then yeah, so if you like this type of content, press the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the future for all new videos. Do you like my jumper? This looks great, don't it?